Mrs. Brown's Boys star Fiona O'Carroll has announced her separation from husband and co-star Martin Delany after 15 years of marriage. Speaking to RTE, the actress, 41, best known for her role as Maria Brown on the popular but maligned sitcom, claimed they had grown apart and insisted the split was a mutual decision. She said, "Myself and Martin met very young. I was 16, and I suppose he's all I've ever known, and we just kind of grew apart. We wanted different things. I still have a lot of love for him and I only want the best for him, and I think he feels the same way about me." Fiona is Mrs. Brown's on-screen daughter-in-law Maria and the real-life daughter of show creator Martin O'Carroll, who plays the titular character. Martin plays Mrs. Brown's son Trevor. Many of the actors are from Mrs. Brown's Boys creator Martin O'Carroll's own family. His sister Eilish plays next-door neighbor Winnie, his wife Jennifer plays daughter Kathy, and his real-life grandson, Jamie O'Carroll, plays Mrs. Brown's grandson, Bono. The show previously came under scrutiny amid claims of a pay gap between members of O'Carroll's family and other, non-related actors. Discussing her separation today, Fiona said, "There were no major fights, and nobody else was involved, but it was a case of not being on the same page any longer." Fiona also admitted she persevered with the marriage after watching her own parents divorce in 1999. "I think I hung on for as long as I did because when my own parents broke up, that was very public, and there was a lot of hurt involved there," she added. The couple married in 2006, going on to have 4 children, sons Felix, Isaac, Eli, and Dexter. Martin, who plays Mrs. Brown's youngest son Trevor in the BBC show, now lives in Portugal but is understood to co-parent the children and stay at the family home whenever he is in his native Ireland. The show came under scrutiny last year after it was slammed for its backstage politics when 2 of its actors reportedly quit amid a pay gap dispute. The actors in question are said to have discovered they earn less than the rest of the cast, which is largely made up of star Martin O'Carroll's family. And an insider exclusively told Mail Online on Monday that the way the show is run behind the scenes makes for an unhappy work environment. The show is very upstairs/downstairs, with a very clear divide between Brendan's family and the few actual actors, the insider said. The family are all directors of the Mrs. Brown's production company and are always looked after. The BBC let Brendan do whatever he wants. O'Carroll's wife, his sister Eilish, his son Danny and Fiona, have all appeared on the series. Although he has not disclosed his salary from the show, O'Carroll's net worth was last calculated in 2013 when it was an astounding £98 million, €11 million. In 2017, however, the stars of the show revealed how they were in debt in the early runs. But in 2019 it was reported that profits at a Martin O'Carroll entertainment company almost doubled to £584,311, €643,876 the year before. The Irish Times reported then that accounts filed by Bockpicks Limited show O'Carroll and his wife, Jennifer Gibney, had garnered almost €2 million in dividends from the company over 2017 to 2018. O'Carroll also makes much of his income from touring. The split comes after the couple were previously named in the Paradise Papers for alleged tax avoidance. In 2017, it was revealed that Martin O'Carroll and his family had purchased 7 homes in the sunny state of Florida. The revelation came after 3 stars of the BBC sitcom were identified as allegedly using a complicated web of offshore companies and trusts to avoid paying tax on their earnings, according to the Paradise Papers media reports. Newly separated couple Martin and Fiona were named, as was co-star Patrick Wilhon. They are said to have diverted over £2 million of their earnings into companies based in Mauritius, before getting the cash sent back, purportedly as loans. 3 homes, worth £280,000 and £240,000, were found to be registered to Mr. O'Carroll and his wife, fellow Mrs. Brown's Boys actress Jennifer, 53. A 4th, worth £280,000, was registered to Fiona, 37, and Martin, 44. The final 2 are in the names of Brendan's sons Eric and Danny. It was also claimed that Mr. and Mrs. Delany allowed some of their money to be transferred into a Mauritian trust before it was eventually loaned back to them, according to the BBC's Panorama. It was thought that the loans were artificially created with the purpose of avoiding tax, and that none of them were ever repaid, meaning they were in effect a form of income and so should have been taxed. However, Mr. O'Carroll insisted no one involved with the show had done anything illegal. At the time, he said, everybody that featured in that show did what they did for completely different reasons. Patty and Fiona wanted to regularize their income over a period of time so they could pay tax over a longer period of time. What's really important is that nothing they did was illegal. In the case of Fiona, Patty, and Marty, not one penny of their BBC money went into that fund. Not one penny of their TV appearances went into that fund, or overseas sales went into that fund. Not one fee went into that fund. He added, Panorama said that they are paid offshore. That's because their fees are paid to a UK agency called Profid who represent them. They invoice us and we pay their fees to Profid who organise whatever they organise with them to give them their monthly salary. In my daughter Fiona's case I know she paid €200,000, £176,000, in tax last year. At the time Fiona was ambushed by the BBC guy in Glasgow, she had just done a year-long audit and had a clearance certificate. All her loans were declared. Mr. Houlihan, who plays Agnes Brown's son Dermot on the BBC hit, claims he joined the Mauritius scheme after advice from British accountant Roy Linus, who also advised Jimmy Carr. But he said he never knew what the F was going on with his money. Mr. Houlihan said he had to Google tax avoidance after a Panorama reporter called him in October over his investment. There is no suggestion that those involved acted illegally. According to the leaked documents, dubbed the Paradise Papers, which expose how the rich and powerful shield their wealth offshore, accountant Roy Linus was involved in setting up meetings which led to the actors participating in the scheme. Mr. Linus was also behind the controversial K2 scheme, which in 2012 was discovered to be allowing thousands of the super-rich to pay as little as 1% income tax, sheltering as much as £168 million in Jersey. Furious license fee payers later called for the BBC to axe Mrs. Brown's Boys amid the claims that some of its stars were part of a tax avoidance scheme. The split is the latest blow to the BBC sitcom, which has suffered criticism from critics, disputes over pay from stars and fan anger after some actors were named in the Paradise Papers for alleged tax avoidance. Mrs. Brown's Boys, which has been both loved and maligned since its inception in 2011, is set to air 2 more episodes over the festive period.